You got to do it right now. Okay. So we're gonna get started today, guys. Today we're gonna talk about the 7 needs in recruiting. Okay, 8 needs in recruiting, and the 8 tips to have a massive trade more for next week. So when you're recruiting people out there in the field, whether they're your friends, your family, just people that you meet, whenever you're selling insurance, okay, there's 8 things. There's 8 reasons why people want to join our business, okay, that they don't currently have in their business right now, or that they're currently not being fully fulfilled on. And then there's also 8 things that we can do today to make sure that we have a big train more for next week. So you should get a sheet of paper. One side should be the 8 needs in recruiting. The other side of the sheet of paper should be 8 tips to have a big train more. So you should have a full page of notes. And guys, I'll tell you what, these things I'm teaching you guys on is exactly what I've heard other agency owners, 5 years ago teach on me on. So I've actually got notes saved from, 2014, 2015. I was able to compile a bunch of those notes and get those notes for this part today. So I'm just repeating things I've learned on from people a lot better than me. So let's go through the 8 needs in recruiting. Okay, so number 1 is the culture. Why people want to work here, number 1 is the culture. It is so cool to be part of a group where everybody wants to help each other. Everybody wants every person to do well. You can earn stock in personal sales or by building an agency. And we attract those kind of people who want to get ahead in life and not just get by. We find people who are driven, people with an abundance mindset, and realizing that records are made to be broken. We have people who are resilient, who are fun, and they also realize that nothing in life comes easy. We have people here in our company, everybody's dedicated to their dreams and their passions and goals that they have for themselves. But we have people who are generous with their time and their money, and knowing that the more you give, the more there is. The more you give, the more there is. And our culture is we just have a giving mindset here at Family Heritage. And we give without expecting anything in return. And those are just these are just the types of people that I'm fortunate enough that we can work with. That is not normal for most companies to have that culture. Most companies don't have that. We have that here, and it's amazing. Okay, so number 1 was the culture. Okay, number 2, the second biggest need in recruiting is impact. Impact. Okay, what we do matters. We make a massive impact on people. Okay. Sorry, somebody needs to mute their phone. Carlos Ufoa, you need to mute your line, please. There we go. Okay, so impact. I was interviewing a few people this week. A lot of people that's been doing DoorDash. They're like, yeah, I just want to make an impact. I've been doing DoorDash, Grubhub, Postmates, all the above. I don't feel like this is what I want to do for the next 30 years of my life. Okay, so it's funny whenever I interview these kind of people. And actually, I had a business-to-business person come in here in the office about a week ago who was selling like printing materials. And they're selling printing paper. I'm like, man, this is 2022. Okay, and you're, it's like, do you see yourself doing this for the rest, for the next 30 years of your life? They're like, no, probably not. Right. So it's crazy. We can actually sell a product that matters, make a huge impact. And it may not be right now. The crazy thing about a career is you may not get your first claim your first year. It may be year 2, year 3 when you get that first claim. But the longer you're here, you realize the impact that you make is massive. Okay. I remember my very first town I worked called Fair Bluff, North Carolina. Most of you guys have no idea where that is. I am constantly getting claims from people that I sold to 8 years ago. Okay. We just paid out a guy who owns a construction company out there $17,000. And that was just for the first initial diagnosis and the first round of treatments that he's had. He's going to be getting a lot more. This was a guy I sold. It was my 2nd or 3rd month in the business at his house. We were still going residential then. I remember sitting down with him, his girlfriend, and his kids on his kitchen table. You will not realize the impact that we have here. The longer you're here, the bigger that becomes. Okay, and also we make a big impact because Most people nowadays are terrible at saving money. Most Americans are very bad at saving money. So you're just giving somebody a great backup plan, but we're also having a forced savings account, which is huge. Okay, so you're making impact in two different ways. Number three need in recruiting is the schedule. The schedule. There's a lot of people out there that only get 2 weeks of vacation time for the entire year. A lot of Americans get 2 weeks of vacation for the whole year. That's crazy. Now here, you can obviously have more than that. It needs to be earned flexibility, not just that you don't want to go to work today. There's a big difference in that. Having things planned in your schedule ahead of time, plan days off months in advance, and you work really hard. And so you know your calendar. So I have 3 weeks until this next trip. I'm going to bust my butt for the next 3 weeks until I can take that time off and go to the beach or go snowboarding, wherever it is. But you create your own schedule here. You have the autonomy. You determine your schedule, which is massive. Okay, you put in your rocks in your schedule and you build around it. Okay, you can do that here. Number four need in recruiting is a lot of people are stuck. A lot of people are stuck in their career. No room for advancement or promotions. One of my best friends here in Charlotte works at a very good law firm here in Charlotte, but he is stuck at his position until the person in front of him either gets fired or retires or unfortunately passes away. That's the only way he can actually grow within the law firm. He is waiting on things out of his control to grow within the law firm. That will never happen here. You will never be limited by somebody else here to move up in your career. You determine your promotions here. We have a career track that if you do X, Y, Z, boom, you are entitled to those earnings. Okay, nobody will determine that for you. You do. Okay, number 5 is the travel. Guys, we go in some awesome places. Like over 30 trips I've been on in my 8 years here, and we just got back from Cabo. Holy smokes, 5-star resort. That was actually the best. That was the best resort I've ever stayed at my entire life. The one that we were just at about 3 weeks ago. Not even kidding. We were at Cancun, Riviera de Maya, right before that a few months ago. We're going to Dallas this year. We're going to Puerto Rico, for crying out loud. Guys, who else gets to go to these kind of places and stay at 5-star resorts? We'll be staying at the #1 hotel, like the Dallas area. It's sandwiched in between the Dallas Cowboys Stadium and the Texas Rangers Stadium. It's the only hotel there. It's called Live by Lowe's. It's awesome. There's going to be 1,000 people there. It's going to be super fun, and it's going to be paid for by the company. And whoever goes to Puerto Rico, that'll be paid for as well. And we'll be going on more trips as well. Okay, we have other agency trips that we have, a lot of cool things that we do. And not just going on these trips, but it's who you go with. Like we go with people who are fun. You can bring your families on these trips, make memories. And there's several people just in our agency. I remember when we went to Mexico a few months ago, there's, half the people that were there from our agency have never even been out of America before. They had to go get passports. That was the very first time that they've ever been out of the United States. And so being able to see them experience that is amazing. Okay, you can bring your whole family on these trips. Okay, it's the travel. Number 6 is the stock. Okay, you can actually own stock here that you can choose what you want to do with it. I would recommend just let your stock grow, but you are in control and you own it. You own your stock. If you want to cash it out right now, that's your call. You totally can. So just keep telling your story over and over again. Why you're doing this, what you're thinking long term. That was number 6. Number 7 is money, just overall income potential. People want to make more money than they're making right now. A lot of people feel like they're overworked and underpaid. This happens all the time. People don't like working really hard to make their boss rich. That's how corporate America works. Our CEO, he's living the dream while you work your butt off. Well, the good news is that doesn't happen here. We lead from the front. There's no shortcuts here. You dictate your income depending on what you're willing to put forth, what you're willing to sacrifice, then you can generate great wealth for your family. There's a lot of folks that have huge financial dreams, people that want to live on a lake house, live on the beach, in a mountain house, have nice land for their family for generations. But that requires money. It's hard getting those things if you work on salary for a living for somebody else. So you determine how much money you want to make here. Now you may have to make some sacrifices to live out your dreams. That's okay. And it's also great to see agents come on board here and make more money in their first week than they've ever made in a month. I remember, Caitlin Roberts, Jim Kanosh, CJ Clark, we have a lot more agents, those are just a few that their very first week made more money than a lot of them have made in a month before they came here. Life-changing. It's not just about money, it's about what you use with the money that matters. That was number 7. Number 8, biggest state in recruiting, number 8 is residual income. If everybody has to work really, really hard in life, and if you're going to start up your own business, it seems silly to only get paid on sales one time. You can build a book of business here that stays with you for the rest of your life. And if you move on, you will get paid on the 15th of every month for the rest of your life. And if you pass away, that's a willable asset to your family. It creates a lot of dreams, a lot of flexibility, and a lot of peace of mind for your family. Okay, so that was number 8, was residual income. Okay, so that was the 8 Ds in recruiting. Okay, so now we're actually going to flip the page to the other side of your sheet of paper. And we're going to cover 8 things, guys. Those are the 8 Ds in recruiting. Now we have a trade war. We have the February trade war. NASCAR week is the theme. Okay, so boogity, 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 shake and bake. So get excited, guys. We're going to blow a boxer next week. If you want to crush the trade war next week, we always crush trade wars. Here are 8 things that you can do today and over the weekend to make sure that you crush next trade war next week. We are not average on trade wars. We're not just going to show up. We're going to be mentally prepared, emotionally prepared, and physically prepared to dominate next week. Okay, we're going to have a lot of momentum, but if you want to get momentum, you got to get it started. It doesn't start the day of, it starts beforehand, okay? If you're playing in a Super Bowl, you don't win the Super Bowl just because you woke up that morning. You win the Super Bowl because of the preparation you put before the game starts. It's the same thing here. So number 1, to crush next trade war, organize your names list. Organize all your names list. So what I mean by that, put all your referrals into Sales Rabbit this weekend and today. Go over all the businesses that you've been to. Make sure all the notes that you have are up to date that you didn't put during the week. You need to start Monday knowing exactly what business you're walking into once the meeting ends. So I promise you, that's the most important thing. You need to know exactly where you're starting Monday morning, right when this call ends. You need to have at least 25 businesses written down that you're going to go see next week. At least 25 businesses. It may be a cold call. It doesn't matter. It may be a warm lead. It may be an appointment, a referral, a policy review with the customer, a reservice. It doesn't matter. It may be an enrollment, but you need to have a starting point for Monday. Okay. Number 2, you need to visualize yourself having a monster week. You need to visualize yourself having the best week of your career. So just take some time and think to yourself this weekend, what was your best week so far? And what did that look like? Look at your canvassing chart for this year and last year. See what your best week was last year or this year if you're brand new. And look at the amount of hours, the amount of demos, and what your NAP was that week. And go ahead and beat those. If you want to have your best week, do it in controllables. If your best week last week was 60 hours, go work 61 hours next week. Go work the most hours you work. If you want to beat your best week in sales, go do more demos than you did that week. If your best demo week was 41 demos, go do 42 demos next week. See what happens. And just see yourself waking up super early and getting home late each night. So see yourself waking up very early, getting out of the door by 7:30 in the morning and getting home after 7:30 at night. And just see yourself walking home, whenever you're walking into your house at night, having 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 clients a day. Next week is not, we're not okay with just 1 or 2 clients a day. We're protecting multiple families because it's open enrollment week. Next week is open enrollment week in your territory. I don't care if you're in Asheville, North Carolina, or if you're in Wilmington, North Carolina, or Columbia. Next week is the biggest open enrollment week of the year, and we speak it into existence. And that starts today. Number 3 is recharge your battery this weekend. Recharge your battery. Take time to yourself. And everybody does this different ways. That could be, taking a hike, running, going to the gym, meditating, reading a book. But just spend time to yourself, recharging your battery, de-stress your mind and your body, and make sure that when Monday comes around, you are at full 100% on Monday morning, ready to rock and roll. Get your meal prepping out of the way, have your lunch packed for Monday, and know exactly what you're eating that day. Have your car cleaned. We don't eat fast food during train war weeks. We don't eat fast food ever in our business because it slows you down. It kills the momentum for the day. We eat healthy during the day because we got to produce at a very high level. Number four is clear the decks. Clear the decks with your family. Let your family know that next week is a push week. It is not a standard 9 to 5 work week next week. So 1 week a month, we go all in. That's what trade wars are for. It's the second trade war of the year. It's the most important week of the year so far. This is where we put all the poker chips in and we go for that significant week. We get ahead on the year. We have a lot of things to work for. The green jacket, Puerto Rico, Dallas incentive. So just let your spouse know, or your boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever it is in your family, that this week you're going to be locked in. You're going to work really hard and get all your errands out over the weekend. So if you need to clean your car, do that on Saturday or Sunday. Don't do it on Monday. If you need to get groceries, get it done over the weekend. Whatever errands you got to do it before it starts. Number 5 is do your best. There is no fear of failure this week. No fear of failure. We are all going to try and do our absolute best and do things that we've been scared of doing. And remember, there is no disgrace in failing. There's only disgrace in not trying. There's no disgrace in failing. There's only disgrace in not trying. When we do fail, we learn from those mistakes and we improve. We fail forward. The hot stove analogy. It's okay if you accidentally put your hand on a hot stove, but don't do it again. So this week, we've got absolutely nothing to lose, but everything to gain. So having this mindset will not only make you better, but it's going to help you have a crazy finish to the month of February and a massive start to the March sales month. Okay. Number 6, this is a huge, huge one. Delete your social media apps next week. If you want to be as efficient as possible, delete your Facebook and Instagram will 100% help you. And I don't mean deactivating your account. That's not what I'm just saying. Take the app off your phone for the week so you don't look at it until Saturday. I promise you, you're going to give yourself a humongous pay raise by doing that. Getting on Facebook or Instagram during the day is not helping you protect more families. It's keeping you away from giving Mrs. Jones a proper backup plan. So let's focus extra hard in service this week and stay off social media and be a true servant to our clients and just being present. Okay, number 7, to have a great trade war next week, number 7 is abide by the 5-minute rule. Abide by the 5-minute rule. This is the week that we don't allow 5 minutes to go by without talking to somebody. We don't have 5 minutes go by without talking to somebody. It could be in a parking lot. Some of the best conversations to get inside businesses happen in a parking lot outside of the business. I can't tell you how many enrollments I've set up in a parking lot with an employee at a company. We're at a gas station, right? Wherever it is, I don't care. But by following this 5-minute rule, you can 100% guarantee yourself lots of activity, high activity, and it'll pay itself forward. Lots of fruition will come for you this week by abiding by the 5-minute rule. And the last one, number 8, is work hard for somebody else. Work hard for someone or something else. There's an entire world out there that needs you to be at your best. There is a whole world out there that needs you to perform. So you can help as many families as possible and make an impact. People need your smile more now than ever before. I never listen to the news. It's very negative. But every time I do watch the news, I'm like, man, the world needs us. The world needs us more now than ever. They need your positivity. They need your upbeat. They need your confidence that things are going to be okay. So working hard for something else is really easy because it's bigger than you. It could be a charity. It could be a family in need. It could be somebody that you just Google on GoFundMe real quick. It could be your wife. It could be your son. It could be any person or thing, but it'll help you focus to work extra hard on service and not focusing on yourself. So yeah, guys, those are the 8 things that have a great trend war next week. And any takeaways, any questions, any comments?
It